It isn't about more, I swear it isn't. For what we're doing here, less is better. That's just the fact. The more people you try to take on, the more it will drive you insane. Too intense? Okay, let's step back for a moment. What am I even talking about? Well, I've been running this video editing business for about 2 years now, and in my years of experience, there is one thing that I've realized over and over again. While pondering my existential crisis looking at the sky, having more clients for a service business isn't good. It's almost a curse. I'll explain. So when I first started working through this disaster called my service business, there was this one axiom I always had in my mind over and over again. The more clients I have, the better. And from an initial standpoint, that makes perfect sense. You make more money, you're more anti-fragile because if someone leaves, that's alright, you have more. You have more chances for referrals and testimonials, but it leaves one crucial element behind. And having played devil's advocate for a moment, all of what I said is true, but you're human. Too vague? Gosh, it seems you'll have to watch a bit more. I can feel the pitchforks coming closer at me day after day. I mean that while you may be able to effectively land an infinite number of clients, the amount of hours you have in a day and your efficiency that you can work through them isn't nearly as infinite. I mean, of course, this depends on what kind of business that you're running and how long it takes you to fulfill it, but I'll use myself as an example. This happened closer to my early days when my only requirement for a client was if they had a pulse, pretty much. But I digress. At that time, I was juggling pretty much 3 clients at the same time, and while you might think yourself, that's great, it isn't. For a few reasons. The biggest issue with that was trying to manage all of the deliverables and the demands and trying to keep everything in order so everything can get there on time. To-do lists and Google Calendar were pretty much the only things that saved me. But usually I didn't have more than 1 deliverable per day that I had to hand over, except in some situations. In that state, a lot of your energy just goes trying to manage your time and all of the requests and all of the messages that may come at random times so that everything can get there on time and no one comes out of it unhappy. And the more clients you add to this, the more disastrous it becomes, let alone the random late night messages about a project that needs a revision or some plan that they want to try going forward when you're just about to sleep. And the second reason, and that is the silent killer of this, is that the more clients that you take on, it means that the less time that you have to go out and search for higher ticket clients. It means getting on more calls, creating more lead magnets, trying to reach out to more people. The more of them that you have, the less time that you have to do to any of that. So effectively, you're trapped in there until one of them leaves or some other thing happens that terminates your relationship with them. And so effectively, your business either stays the same or just slowly dies down until nothing is left, which has happened to me a couple of times now. And the third reason is that you don't even make that much money, and I'll supplement it with, drumroll please, another story from my experience. Man, those script writing YouTube videos are really paying off now. So just for clarity, the story that I just told you about, at that time I was making around $300 a month. So contrast that to early in the year when I had the pleasure of working with an entity that was a much better fit for the kind of videos that I wanted to edit. And working with them, I had a month where I made like 3 times that in a month from one entity. So do you see the point that I'm getting at? It's not about how many you have, it's about how good they are. And I'm sure this is very cliche advice that you've heard 1,000 times by now, but I feel like a story and a realistic situation where that happened could be a lot more helpful to hear. Doing it that way is usually a way simpler load and you have a lot better time doing it that way. So what do we learn from that? Well, if you're working with clients that you're not too happy with at the moment, then put more time and effort into reaching out to higher quality leads, even if you have to put a little more value up front. Because the higher the disparity between you two, it means the more effort and the more value and skill you need to have to bridge that gap. So what does that mean in an actionable way? Create a free sample and send it to them. Try to break down their channel, their niche, their ideas, and try to create something tailored to that to help them improve. If they have any problems with their business strategy, try to give some feedback on it and say how and why that could improve it. But hey, I'm sure you can do it. I believe in you, my guy. So if you're looking for more ways to get those higher quality leads, then watch this video. If you're trying to get more for your time so you can do more outreach, then watch that video. I appreciate a sub if you found this helpful, because I'm trying to get to 1K by the end of the year. I have some goodies in the description, and bye.